Hey guys, welcome to Smells Like Teen Angst and Poppin Off At Pops, our Riverdale recap reaction show. Today we are doing something a little special. We're talking about episode 602, Ghost Stories, and 603, Mr. Cipher. Let's do it. And as always, I have my Riverdale partners in crime to talk about this with me today. First up, Jordan, say hi.
Hi, I'm Jordan. You can find me at Lambertra. If I'm not here, I'm playing D&D with Keiki and Blackness and Dragons on QueueTimes, or on a different game called Say a Prayer for California, or I'm working my 9 to 5, or I'm taking a nap.
She's a busy girl, and we like it. Keiki, say hello.
Hi, I'm Keiki, and I'm always here. And when I'm not here, I'm definitely probably playing D&D or Honey Heist with Jordan over at QueueTimes. You can come see us every Tuesday, 7:30. We keep it fun. And if I'm not there, I'm sleeping because nap is life.
Nap is life. I agree. I agree with you. So ladies, let's just quickly dive into episode 602, Ghost Stories. This is the story of La Llorona, which is still the best Halloween Horror Nights haunted house I've ever seen. It is. Seriously, everything lives up to that
Bride of
one.
Frankenstein, sorry, bye.
It's fair. It's fair. It's a good one. The Bride of Frankenstein one this year was epic. So for those who don't know La Llorona, they kind of give a very like bare bones version of who she is. Keiki, do you know like a deeper version of the La Llorona lore?
I mean, the basic lore is kind of what Rivervale did, just a little twisted. It's a woman who lost her children, and now she claims children and drowns them in the river for being bad. You know, that's kind of just how it was used in my family.
La Llorona's gonna come get you.
It's weird to me, and it's interesting, people who like did not grow up around Chicano people and who don't know this, and they're like, oh, it's this brand new legend, because I grew up in a primarily Chicano neighborhood, so I've known from like us being a small child knowing about La Llorona and being like, oh, she's gonna come get you, she's coming for you.
Yeah, like La Llorona, El Cucuy,
like Cucuy, that's another one.
That's my whole childhood.
My whole childhood. I don't know.
I know a whole Chupacabra song because one of my teachers taught it to me.
You can't just say that and then not sing it for us, Jordan.
Chupacabra, gonna bite you in the nalgas.
In the nalgas.
I love it. Yeah, my sister-in-law is Mexican, and so she uses that on my niece. She's like, La Llorona, La Cucuy is gonna come get you. And I'm just like, you better be good, little girl. So when you guys think about like the ghost stories, like the Rivervale bringing in La Llorona?
I wish that Riverdale had taken this twist way earlier in the series, like way earlier in the series. If they had started like taking this tone and this darkness and this weird supernatural occult energy back in like season 2, I would have been like, yes, give it to me. Now it feels kind of like a ratings push. Like they know that people aren't watching anymore, so they're trying to push and do something interesting to get their viewership back. And
I agree.
While I don't hate it, I'm not in love either.
I feel like we've asked for this for so long. Like we've been asking for this, and I get it. So they're giving it like all of it at once. And I feel like it's almost like a F you. Like I told you didn't like it. I told you wouldn't want it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it feels to me.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I feel like they're like, look, you guys have been asking for supernatural Riverdale. We're giving it to you, but we're going to half-ass it. And you're just so you won't like it. Like, I don't know. I don't hate it, but I also, like you said, Jordan, I don't love it. So La Llorona has come to Riverdale because they did this like weird Romeo and Juliet story up top with like a ghoulie and a serpent, and Tony kills the son of a ghoulie. So his mother asks, like conjures the soul of La Llorona or the ghost of La Llorona to come and take babies. And so like Juniper, one of the twins, is almost the first victim. She seemingly takes Betty's baby and then comes for Tony's child. But like, do you think La Llorona actually took Betty's baby, or do you think she never was pregnant like the coroner said?
Why are we always
sorry,
why are we always going to the coroner? Why are we always going to the coroner?
Because he's so weird.
I finally figured out who he reminds me of. He reminds me of, and it could be the same actor, but the guy who played Riddler in Gotham.
Oh, I can see. It's not the same actor, but I know. Yeah, I can see
right?
Yeah, I can totally see that.
He gives me like Steve Buscemi's bastard child vibes. I don't know. I feel like it's the same level of creepy that they can both do. But I don't really think the coroner knows shit about shit. So, you know, that's, if that's sound medical advice to them, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I asked that because... Oh, that's okay. Go ahead, Jordan.
I think that Betty was pregnant just because they did sacrifice Archie, and there was like proof that the sacrifice of Archie worked because Cheryl had maple syrup again and blah, blah, blah. So I think that Betty was pregnant.
The reason I ask is because like towards the end, they talk about how La Llorona won't leave until a child she's promised is taken. So if she took Betty's baby, why is she not gone? Or did it absolutely have to be Tony's baby? And if it had to be Tony's baby, why is she going after other babies?
Because babies aren't babies.
Fetuses aren't babies. Sorry, Midwest. I'm sorry, I'm gonna piss some people off with that, but fetuses aren't babies.
That's why. Because fetuses aren't babies. Sorry, guys. You're not a child yet.
Fair enough. I accept this answer. Thank you. I did not think of it in that way.
But honestly, that's not what I think. I honestly think that like she probably just goes around claiming children until she gets the one she wants. Kind of like the Ring situation. Like,
you know, when you're trick-or-treating and you've got some candy, but you haven't gotten a Snickers yet, you're gonna keep going to houses till you get that Snickers.
Yeah.
I do like that Tony's like, I have to go to Cheryl and I have to figure out who summoned it. So like you have this whole like summoning circle, and I love that Betty's like over it but also into it, because poor Nana is choking on lake water. Like no one cares. The poor Cheryl's like, no, Betty, don't break this circle even if Nana dies.
I mean,
maybe she could have. I do love that she's committed. Maybe she could have revived Nana. You know, a little CPR. Also, I just was happy that Nana was getting used, because sometimes I forget about her. So when she pops back in, I'm like, she's still alive.
Ooh.
Old Nana.
Oh, Nana.
Yeah, as we're talking about this, I figured out what's pissing me off about this 6-episode event. And it's the fact that it is only a 6-episode event. And I'm not even referencing what I said last time, like, how's this going to affect the overall show, because that bothers me. But it's too fast. Because honestly, like, just the setup of this episode, with it being this ghouly serpent, Romeo and Juliet, could have been a 2 to 3 episode arc before we ever even introduced La Llorona. So it's just, things are happening way too fast.
I can see that.
I agree with you there.
For sure.
We're totally just like, quickly building a world never pays off.
Right.
It's why some movies suck until you're like 40 minutes in, because world building is hard. I personally think that the Twilight Zone type of intro thing they're going after is kind of like they're trying to set us up that it is this anthology type of thing, but stories still have some carryover. Like if it was super anthology, why didn't we see Archie again? Like if it was super anthology, why is Jughead and Tabitha still having the same struggles they were having the first episode? Like it just doesn't, the device isn't working for me.
I feel you. which we'll get into the storylines that carry over after I ask this question. What do you think of the ending with Tony offering herself up to become the new La Llorona?
I actually thought that was beautiful. I thought it was a beautiful moment. I thought it was a lovely sacrifice. I love Vanessa Morgan. She can do no wrong. So I was all about it.
Yeah, I mean, if this carries over and this is our way of like writing Tony off the show, whatever, like a nice way to go out, I think it's beautiful that, you know, she understood the value and depth of what she did or was a part of, you know, and she was like, an eye for an eye, but like my child shouldn't be punished for my doings. I will take this burden. Like, that's important as a parent.
Yeah, I really liked it as well. I thought this is how we're going to give her an ending in this Rivervale series, like the ultimate love of a mother is the way to go for sure. To dive into our carrying over stories into the next episode, let's talk about Tabitha and Jughead, who, Jordan, you mentioned last week, do they have a bug problem or are they being haunted? And we seem to have an answer that they
was haunted
by a couple that did a murder suicide in their apartment that Jughead felt like it wasn't important to mention.
That was really raggedy of you, Juggy.
Real raggedy.
Look, I'll still live there, but I want to know.
Yeah, I want to know. Like,
I just need the facts, like the Carfax. Give me the apartment facts.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt, you know? Like, were you that desperate for a place? I mean, he was homeless, I guess, but are you really gonna like put her through that? Like the wondering because of a little thing you don't want to disclose? Like, that's not a little thing, dude. That's a big freaking deal.
Yes. And like he's like, well, I just really want to write about it because their story seems amazing. And so like Tony is having these dreams because like the wife is possessing her in a way. And then I love like Pops' little nugget of like, oh yeah, Pops was haunted by a waitress who died in a fryer fire. Like I was like, Pops.
How many times has Pops been on fire? Because after one too many times, I would have been like, this is a bad location.
The real takeaway from this series is that Pop Tate has terrible luck. If you think about everything that has happened in his diner and all the little stories that he randomly drops on you over these 6 seasons, Pop Tate has terrible luck.
That diner should have been haunted. Like, people have died in that sucker so many times. She has been burned to the ground. Alien abductions. Like, Pops, maybe you should have just let it go. Like,
I know. But now, like, can we also talk about what a terrible boyfriend Jughead is?
Okay, here's my biggest complaint about all of this. Not just that he was a slovenly ass boyfriend, because he was. He didn't hang up any art. He didn't do any chores. He left the cap off the toothpaste. But why come they live together and they haven't even said I love you yet? Excuse me?
Oh my gosh, that was the biggest thing. Like, how did you move in with someone that you don't love? You're just like,
amen. I literally screamed it out loud while watching it. And then I was like, how are you just gonna like just go into a house and lay with a man that you don't love and share a place with him? Like, I understand like living in sin, whatever, living with your man, getting to know each other, but you need to at least know you love each other before you share a home.
You need to at least love each other if you're trying to have a home. If you don't love each other, but you moved in, you are just roommates who are banging.
Exactly. You are definitely FWBs, okay? That's exactly what you are. And what if love never came, you know, and they broke up? Right. They just would have been stuck in that haunted ass apartment, hanging out with each other.
Because you know they signed a lease. You know that it was not a month to month, even if it was haunted.
Yeah, and we know Jughead can't afford nothing. She's paying for all of it, and she said so. So he can write.
Girl, If I was her, I would have just kicked everybody out the White Worm and turned it into a damn apartment. Like, I'm just saying, you already own the property, and then you could just kick your boyfriend, who ain't really worth anything, out. But now you're gonna go live in squalor. Whatever, girl.
But they do get rid of the ghost couple because Tabitha is about to murder him with a hammer, just like the woman who killed and then her husband and killed herself. And then their confession of love is like what boots them out. And they then close the door back up.
Slovenly.
Slovenly.
Also, listen, if y'all got rid of the ghost, ain't no reason to close that room back up.
I know. I thought that was so weird.
You already don't have enough square footage in this tiny ass apartment. Now you just want to willingly give up a room? You better tell them ghosts to pay rent or get out.
Exactly. I was like, that's a nice room. Like, throw away all the haunted shit, but you're just gonna get rid of that office space?
And this is
at
why
least it's somewhere to lock Jughead.
This is why I cannot get with any of these movies where the house or the apartment is haunted. Like, listen, you gonna be up in here making noise all night long. You better get in on these bills or get out.
Exactly. So let's move into Veronica and Reggie. So like Reggie's dad is super sick. Some guy rolls up to the like car dealership with his car that he used to have in high school. And he starts like envisioning another woman. And I'm like, who is this woman? And it turns out to be the driver's ed teacher that got fired for being inappropriate with students. I do not believe for a second that she was not inappropriate with Reggie. I don't know about y'all.
That storyline to me was a whole lot of what in the Christine, if y'all have read that Stephen King book and or seen the terrible movie adaptation.
Mm-hmm. I was like, you know what? Reggie is a little too cute for someone to just be like, nah, I'm gonna skip over you. Like,
okay. And also, I don't even. This show has played like inappropriate relationship between teachers and teenagers for like too many times for my liking. Like they're real casual with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was just like, what is this weird Reggie wanting to relive his glory days because they're his happy memories before his father gets really sick and passes away at the end of the episode? I just thought that was really an odd choice for them because they work as a couple and Rivervale is trying to prove that they don't by creating characters that never existed in the first place, which I guess is like the mirror version of them, right? Riverdale works, Rivervale doesn't.
We don't know because we don't know what Rivervale is.
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't know what this whole space device, etc. is. But I wanted Reggie and Veronica for so long. You know, I sat through Chad. I sat through the Archie mess, knowing it was wrong. Like, this was supposed to be good, in my opinion. Like, my brain said that this was supposed to be fun. And I'm not having fun. I'm very angry.
Yes. I don't like it.
I hate in a lot of teen shows. I mean, they do it in adult shows too. But when the couple finally gets together and they don't just let them be together, like, can we just let the couple be together, please? Mm-hmm. I think the only show that's done it well in recent years has been Insecure, where when the couples broke up, it had a lot of time in between it, and they had a reason, like valid reasons for them to break up. Thanks a lot, Condoleezza.
Look, don't bring up Chicago Crenshaw up in here. We're not talking about her. She's raggedy. But I agree with you, Jordan. Let me have what I want for a minute. Like, can't I be happy for a second? Like, you literally put them together, threw this device on it, and you're making them the worst people. And I don't like that because since the beginning of this show, Veronica has always been of sound mind and a very good business person. Mistakes aren't her jam. And Reggie's not a loser. I'm sorry. Playing this whole I peaked in high school thing that doesn't fly with me because Reggie, even though he didn't leave Riverdale like everyone else and he had his things that he had to work through, Reggie definitely lived his life in the most creative way possible. You know?
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't like who they've turned him into. Also, Veronica would never destroy his car without talking to him first. So like the fact that she Carrie Underwooded this thing out of just because she found a photo is so out of character for her as well. So, and then buys him a new one. Like, it's fine.
Whoops.
What? Sorry, this woman was the only person you could speak to in your life. Ugh, it's terrible. Anyway, that's basically the La Llorona episode that carries into episode 603, Mr. Cipher, where Lou Cipher, aka Mr. Morningstar, aka Lucifer, the devil, makes his way to Riverdale in order to collect some souls. And so the main cast, this entire story is the main cast making deals with the devil for themselves or for others, as we learn. And I think like the whole like Tabitha and Pops thing is what kicked this storyline off, that apparently Pops's father is the one who sold his soul to the devil and like Pops would never, but like Lou wants Pops because that's the place of wayward souls that could like come and make that Lucifer could like gather all the sad people, you know, like all the people with no money and the people that Pops feeds all the time. And I'm just like, okay, so we're going to make this such an important place. And then Raphael's going to come. And then they use like the tears of Mary. I was just like, what is happening? And why does this not make him go away?
Look at me. Look at me. My entire time with this whole story was just.
I can see the math equations forming around your face.
It's like Winona Ryder, that like gif me.
Why? Just absolutely why? One, it could have been a solo off Tabitha story, especially because we've been introduced to Tabitha's bad daddy, you know? So
yeah, where's he been? Anyway.
You know, it made me feel like Tabitha had some type of background because it seems like her parents are kind of affluent. So I could understand that. But throwing sweet old Pops into this, Pops has been through enough.
That's what I was saying. Pop Tate has the worst luck if you go through all 6 seasons of this show.
He
this
really
man
does.
cannot catch a break.
Not one single break. The man has a heart attack. The devil comes for him. Like, you leave him alone, sir.
I can't have my Pops lying up in the bed like that. Come on, we've tried to kill Pops too many times.
I know we can't just bring Pops back to kill him.
Thank you. We just got the man back. Can we keep him around, y'all? Please and thank you.
Our whole show is called Poppin Off At Pop. We can't get rid of Pops.
You know why, Sarah? Because Pops is a place where things happen, okay? But they're always good at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, we're good. We just have opinions. Okay.
Again, it's too fast. It's too fast. The devil shows up in one episode and gets off with the souls of half the town within the next 40 minutes. It took him 40 minutes to get away with everybody's souls. We could have spread this shit over 5 episodes, y'all.
I know. So like that's what they do. And then like they like invite the devil to the casino because Veronica and Reggie have opened the casino. And I love how he gets Kevin. He's like, let me give you a taste of fame and fortune. I remember you from Broadway. And like, and then we have a musical number from Kevin, who we all know does not belong on Broadway. And he gets Fangs, who is now
Finn.
Yeah. This is agent,
guys,
manager, booking person.
Guys,
yes.
I really thought going into this whole spooky Rivervale mess, we were at least going to get away from the singing. At least stop singing. But no. No.
I didn't mind Kevin's. It's not unusual. I'm saving my singing complaints for later in the episode.
I don't even want to talk about it. Like, I don't even want to
talking about that.
Don't even want to acknowledge that it happened.
It's over. Okay.
I'm just like, I can't. So before we don't acknowledge that, because I actually really liked the Veronica Reggie storyline, so I do want to save it for last because I thought it was best. But Betty gets called that TBK is being transferred to Rivervale. And I'm like, oh, we're bringing TBK into this, the trash bag killer. I was very excited. And then he's like pretending to be the devil. And then we get this big twist that TBK wasn't captured because she gets a call from her FBI boyfriend. But then we go into this weird biblical shit, right? Where it's like Betty's getting compared to the whore of Babylon. And if people don't know the story, if you did grow up Christian, like religious, you wouldn't. So I feel like it's weird that they like threw that in there. And then she rips the mask, like doesn't even rip the mask off before stabbing the man a million times.
So many times. And then she finally rips the mask off and it's her FBI boyfriend because the devil has played her for a fool.
Yes. But not for her soul. So like, I don't really understand the play on Betty at all.
Just to make her feel bad?
Right.
Look, guys. Look. I thought we were fighting demons. Okay. I tried to justify it as everyone has their own internal demons. And sometimes, you've got to throw hands with the devil. Maybe they all didn't actually lose their soul. Maybe this is just like a thing, But
also, I am so tired of this Betty storyline of like, am I evil or am I not? This is more tiring than in Pirates of the Caribbean when Will Turner didn't know whether or not he wanted to be a pirate. Like, fuck, figure it out, Betty.
Right. We already know she has the gene, right? She's got the serial killer gene. So like, you're evil or you're not evil. At this point, it's up to your choices. It's nature. There is no argument of nature versus nurture. That's what they can't understand about serial killers, because people can grow up exactly the same way and not turn out crazy like that. Like, not murder people. Like, she doesn't have to be her father. Her destiny is not written in the stars for her. And she's just like, they just keep harping on it. It's annoying.
Like, girl, it's not the BRCA gene. Like, you're okay.
Exactly.
You're okay, but we got to give Betty her struggles. Also, but can we talk about Alice a little bit?
Oh yeah, go ahead and talk about Alice. Well, we can talk about her with with Veronica and Reggie because she's involved in that.
Well, I'm just curious as how Alice isn't looking for Betty at all. Alice has gone back to her daily life and is actually doing something other than mothering for the first time in whatever ever.
Right. Well, isn't Betty living in Archie's house right next door?
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't need to look for her. She can see her through the window.
Well, she would know that she wasn't home. She was clearly off with TBK in standoff land for the last 48 hours, right?
Here's the part about Alice's story that got on my nerves, is that she wanted to come for Veronica's throat, talking about you're going to open a casino. And when you have a casino, you're going to get alcoholics. Then you're going to get gamblers. Then you're going to get whoremongers. And I wanted to look at her and be like, girl, we already have that in Riverdale. We had a whole season about the Lonely Highway. Do you remember how Polly died? Bitch, it's already there. The call is coming from inside the house.
It really is, though. And when she went on that little diatribe, I was like, girl, pot calling kettle black, Miss Hopper man, leave your kids, Miss my daughter has a baby and I go put her off in a freaking psych ward. Like, Alice,
I do the Serpent Queen dance back in season 3. We ain't forgot, Alice.
We ain't forgot, Alice. Alice, sit down.
Sit down. You know who else needs to sit down? Jughead. Speaking of, terrible boyfriend wants to interview the devil. He is the only kind of smart one, and that he's like, I want to make my decision after I hear your story, because his choices are he could publish, become a Pulitzer Prize winner, but could never write again, or he doesn't publish it at all and just becomes like a famous writer. And he's like, I have to publish this, I'll never write again, and then realizes I can't, I have to write, I'm a writer. It's like, duh, bro. Like, we all, yeah, terrible decision. And ends up selling his soul anyway.
I wish it was presented to him as a book and not an article, a la expose, a la editorial, because Jughead, like, he did the full pivot to novelist. Betty was the journalist, you know? Like, and she's using that journalism Blue's Clues skills to be an FBI agent. So I'm just like, could, like, over an article, over a book deal, for sure. Over an article, no damn sense.
I know. How much money can you get paid for that? Probably nothing. You know, I don't
Girl,
know.
they pay by the word. Even like the best people make like maybe $5 to $15 a word.
Yeah. But then we get into Veronica and Reggie because the casino is opening. Reggie explains like the sketchy side of the business, which I thought was kind of fun, while Veronica is like telling the up and up side to Alice.
That was a fun scene.
I love that he's like, weighted dice. The machines are magnets. And then like she's like, everything will be fine. We're gonna have performances and dealers. And I just like loved that it was both. And then she like Reggie, we learn, or at least we think, has sold his soul for the investor money. But twist, ladies and gentlemen, he sold Veronica's soul by tricking her into signing the contract with the pen.
Because he knew that she'd be able to fix it later. Talk about slovenly ass boyfriends. Reggie.
Terrible.
So somebody hurt a writer on Riverdale because she must have paid the way for a writing boyfriend, and he did her dirty because
Yes.
she is
Every man on
definitely
this show is-
he is definitely taken out on the men of this show.
1000%, especially because now we get Nick Sinclair back. Like Veronica's fix for not her soul is to bring in Nick, who we all know deserves to be taken by the devil because he's garbage. But that doesn't fix the offer because of the whole twist. Because she's like, this instead of Reggie's soul. So like the devil went off the technicalities of the word, which is very much a devil thing to do, especially like crossroad demony that they're doing with this. And then in order to like save herself, she's going to give up Alice. But I do think her deciding not to is a very normal Veronica thing to do. She's like, Alice doesn't deserve this. This is not what I should be doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we like that Betty, like straight up gumption. Girl's got her mind and wits about her. Not Betty, Veronica situation going. But my issue is this casino is the size of this living room. I've never seen any of the people in there on an opening night. I expected to see everyone from Riverdale there. I expected more exchanges between people that kind of let me know the devil is present and that he's messing with everyone. That would have tied everything in for me. But instead it's its own one-off weird thing. Own one-off, here's your casino. That's terrible. I'm taking your soul situation.
I honestly felt like the scene with Cheryl during the first episode of Rivervale, when she was convincing everybody to sacrifice Archie, was more devilish than like this casino devil scene. Cheryl was very much like, I know what you need. We're going to sacrifice Archie to get it for you. And I know what you need. And I know what you need. And the devil's he was just hanging out with a whole bunch of randos in the casino.
Yeah.
Yeah. The devil is literally after just any and everyone in Rivervale. But for what? Like he should have came with a main intention, and the intention is just not there.
Like his main intention was Pops, but he lost it so easily.
Veronica was the only character I feel like who was true to form this episode, because she really did. It was very Veronica for her to say, you know what, Alice doesn't deserve this. I'm not going to take Alice. And then it was very true to form for her to fix the problem, but also make Reggie pay what he owed.
1000%. That double twist.
Amen.
Yes, girl.
Amen.
And she was like, oh, you know
it.
who that is? I loved it with like the knock on the door. And she's like, you know, get the fuck
Don't
out.
be a bitch.
Go get the door, babe. Go get the door.
Slowly but surely, all the men of Riverdale are getting kicked off. Of Rivervale are getting kicked and booted off. And it's just going to be like Jughead's next. I don't know. But that's basically like how this thing ended. So I don't really know where they're going from here. Like next week.
And where's Sabrina?
So I saw, like, as we know, like people know who watch / listen to us. We're on your podcasts. We don't watch the preview for next week because we stream it. So, but I did see on YouTube a little like thumbnail of Sabrina's face. So Sabrina will be here next week for episode 4 of the 5.
I mean, I knew that it was going to get saved to the end because that's the only way they'd be able to keep us along for this little string of Sabrina, like, ooh, witchyisms, whatever, Rivervale-ness. But now I've been given so much of what I asked for that I am 100% uninterested. And I know that it's going to be just as bad as the Sabrina show was to me. And I don't care.
Again, as my nitpick, which I've now figured out what it is, was the same problem that I have with the Sabrina series. The pacing was terrible. The pacing is awful.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I didn't even finish the first season of Sabrina because I just thought it was like so painfully slow. And this is too fast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Time is of the essence.
I know. I'm just really disappointed because I was so excited for this like twisted version of Riverdale. Because like as we mentioned in the very beginning, fans have been asking for this to give us like the chilling side, to give us the zombie werewolfy thing. Because like in the darker comics, Jughead is a werewolf and it's kind of cool. But for this, I guess it's just like I don't know what I was expecting, but they're not delivering on what I wanted.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe we're alone in this. People, we love you. Comment your thoughts. Let us know what you think. Riverdalians, Poppin Off At Poppians, Angsters, whatever you want to call yourselves. Comment, let us know. Because I'm just kind of like waiting for this to end so we could get back to my old Riverdale. Maybe that's the plan. Is so that we can appreciate original Riverdale again.
No, girl, bye.
This isn't like, oh, let's talk about Krampus, so I appreciate Christmas. This isn't a Christmas Carol, Sarah, okay? This is just bad Riverdale. This is Rivervale.
I know. And it was so good. All right. Well, until next week and Sabrina joins the party, ladies, let everyone know where they can see you on Tuesday.
On QueueTimes at 7:30 p.m. PST, rolling some dice.
Yep, that's it. Sheriff Keiki or Buffy Jenkins. See you there.
Buffy Jenkins, like Leroy Jenkins.
And I'm Barney Badass.
That's amazing. I'm really sad I haven't had a chance to watch this season. So hopefully Tuesday, I'll be right there with you guys. Until next time, thanks for watching and make sure you like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell for Smells Like Teen Angst, and we'll see you next week. Bye.